Hello, everyone, and good evening. This is attorney Yael Brudner coming to you live from Orange County, California, together with the amazing Laura that's going to be translating for me today in Spanish.
Hola a todos, esta es la abogada Yael Brudner. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Orange County, California, y mi nombre es Laura Burgos, soy su asistente quien va a estar traduciendo al español.
Thank you so much for sending us your questions this week. We received a bunch of questions and we picked probably the top 6 or 8 questions that we thought would be really interesting for a lot of people. But if you have questions and you want us to answer them live, please feel free to write them in the comments and we will try to get them to them today.
Gracias a todos los que enviaron sus preguntas durante estos días. Escogimos entre 6 y 8 preguntas, pero siéntanse libres de preguntar en vivo si quieren que nosotros respondamos aquí durante este evento.
Perfect. And if you're watching the replay at a later time, then also feel free to write the questions and we promise to get back to you.
Ok, si este es el replay, si lo están viendo ya después de que pasó el evento en vivo, siéntanse libres también de enviarnos sus preguntas, que después vamos a responderlas para ustedes.
And today we're going to be answering questions about immigration. So feel free to write us your questions. The answers are going to be general information. So this is not legal advice, but it will give you a good picture of the answer. And it's always a good idea to consult with an immigration attorney about your specific case.
Ok, el live de hoy va a ser sobre inmigración en general, entonces todas las preguntas que tengan relacionadas con esto las pueden hacer. No se va a dar un aviso legal, siempre que se responde a una pregunta se va a dar información general. Siempre que tengan un caso en específico y quieran una respuesta personalizada, deben consultar con un abogado de inmigración.
Perfect. So we're streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. So we'll kind of try to go between and get everyone's questions. So should we go to the first question?
Okay.
Ready? Let me get it up here. Okay. Can you explain the U visa? What are the requirements?
Ok, la pregunta es, ¿puede explicar la visa U y cuáles son los requisitos?
Perfect. Absolutely. So the U visa is a visa that is available for individuals in the United States that were victims of crimes here in the United States and that they helped law enforcement in connection with this crime.
Ok, la visa U es una visa disponible para las víctimas de crímenes aquí en los Estados Unidos que involucran todas estas fuerzas de ley y tienen un reporte de estos.
Perfect. And then just to complete with that, what are the requirements for this visa? So the requirements to qualify for the U visa is that you were subject to a crime that's considered a qualifying crime. So the immigration laws specify certain crimes that are considered qualifying for the U visa. So the crime that you were a victim of needs to be in that list. And also that you were helpful to law enforcement. And that usually means that you reported your crime to the police and you have a police report.
Ok, uno de los requisitos para poder aplicar a esta visa es, primero, debe estar sujeto a un crimen y calificar en la lista. Hay una lista donde se mencionan cuáles son los tipos de crímenes y usted debe calificar en uno de estos. Y también, como lo mencionamos anteriormente, debe involucrar una fuerza de ley, como un récord de la policía o de algún otro tipo de fuerza de ley.
Perfect. And if you are interested in learning more about the U visa and you feel like you might qualify for the U visa, this is definitely something I recommend to talk to an attorney with so they can evaluate your case and make sure that the crime that you were a victim of does qualify and that you meet the requirements. So we just put out our contact information here, so feel free to contact us anytime.
Ok, si alguno está interesado en acceder a una U-Visa, Siempre es importante consultar con un abogado de inmigración que se encargue de revisar que efectivamente califica para poder obtener una. Y a continuación dejamos nuestra información de Brudner Law y nos pueden contactar.
Perfect. Okay, so this question just came in. I entered with a tourist visa, and now my husband that has a green card wants to petition me. Is this possible? So, great question. If you're here in the United States and you are married to someone that has a green card, your husband can petition you for a green card. The caveat is that it's a little different than if your husband was a citizen. So if your husband has a green card, in order for you to apply to adjust your status and get a green card, you have to be maintaining your status. So if you're overstayed and you're no longer on a valid stay here, you overstayed your tourist visa, then you would have to wait until your husband naturalizes and become a citizen before you can apply for the green card here in the United States.
Ok, tenemos una pregunta y dice, entré con una visa de turista y ahora mi esposo, que tiene una green card, me quiere pedir. ¿Es esto posible? Si está casado con una persona que tenga un green card, el proceso es diferente a una persona que es un ciudadano norteamericano. Entonces, si su esposo tiene una green card, lo que usted debe hacer es mantener su estatus dentro de los Estados Unidos. Si en algún momento se queda más del tiempo autorizado con su visa, tendrá que esperar hasta que su esposo se haga ciudadano para poder acceder al proceso en el que usted podrá pedir su green card.
Perfect. Again, if you would like to contact us and talk to us specifically about your case, we're more than happy to do that, but that's just in general information. Okay, so I want to...
Si nos quieren contactar, pueden ver nuestra información, nuestro número de teléfono, nuestra página web.
Perfect. So I want to answer a question here on YouTube. Can I help my mom get a green card? I'm 28. I've never been in the military. She did not come into the country with a visa. She crossed the border by car and was not questioned. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for your question. The question is complex, right? So there's different aspects of this question. In general, if you are over 21 and you're a U.S. citizen, you can petition your mom for the green card, right? You can file a petition for her, and usually those are approved it's pretty straightforward. You just have to show that you're a U.S. citizen and your mom is your mom. The second part is where your mom would apply for the green card, and that is a little more complex. Do you want to translate that part and then I'll continue?
Yeah. Ok, María, muchas gracias por esta pregunta. Entonces, la pregunta es, ¿puedo ayudar a mi mamá a obtener su green card? Tengo 28 años, nunca he estado en el servicio militar. Ella no vino al país con una visa, ella cruzó la frontera en carro, pero no fue cuestionada cuando la cruzó. Esta es una pregunta compleja, tiene diferentes aspectos que evaluar. Entonces, generalmente hablando, si tiene más de 21 años y usted es un ciudadano norteamericano, sí puede pedir a sus padres y realmente es un proceso fácil donde tienen que probar que usted es un ciudadano norteamericano y que su papá o su mamá son efectivamente sus padres.
Perfect. So like we said, the petition part is the part that you can do quite easily. The second part is where your mom will actually be applying for her green card. Okay, so I have a few questions. It really depends on your mom's history. So did she only come one time? Has she ever left before? What happened at the border? Really, it depends. And I do really encourage you to schedule a consultation with us because it's very fact specific. Generally speaking, you do have to have a visa in order to apply for your green card in the United States. And there are some exceptions to that, like you said, being in the military is an exception. But the general rule is that you have to have you entered with a visa or entered legally in order to qualify. Since your mom did go through the border and she went through a certain process, she might qualify to get her green card here, but we would need a consultation, a one-on-one consultation to give you an answer on that.
Ok, la segunda parte de este caso es la aplicación de la mamá para una green card. Entonces, esto depende realmente de la historia de su mamá, si vino solamente una vez, si ha salido alguna vez de los Estados Unidos, también de qué fue lo que pasó realmente en la frontera. Y para esto sí se recomienda agendar una consulta con un abogado de inmigración, porque ahí sí tendrá que analizar específicamente su proceso. Generalmente hablando, para poder aplicar a una green card dentro de los Estados Unidos, debe ingresar al país con una visa. Hay unas excepciones y puede que, así como lo mencionó del militar, si tiene algún miembro en el militar, puede haber una excepción ahí, pero para esto se debe, en una consulta con un abogado de inmigración, analizar el caso específico.
Thank you. Going on to the next question. This is a good question, Jason. Thank you for asking. Also on YouTube, a question about advance parole. What proof do you need to visit an ailing relative? So if you are on DACA, I'm assuming that you're on DACA, so that is your current status, and you want to apply for advance parole, you have to have a reason, right, for advance parole. So you would have to show that there is either a humanitarian reason or another reason that's usually educational or financial. When it's a humanitarian reason, like visiting a sick relative, what you would have to show is that you have a sick relative. So really proof of your relative's medical condition. So that would be a letter from the doctor, a statement by you, requesting to go visit your relative. You would have to prove also the connection between you and your relative. So if this is your grandparent, we usually submit birth certificates of you and then birth certificates of your mom or dad. Some birth certificates list the grandparent on them, so you don't have to necessarily do the both. But basically, in short, what you would have to prove is that you would have to show that your relative is really sick and in a dire condition, and that the relationship with your relative exists.
Ok, tenemos otra pregunta que dice, hola, tengo una pregunta sobre el proceso de Advance Parole. ¿Qué pruebas necesito para visitar a un pariente extranjero? La abogada asume que él está en un proceso de DACA, entonces dice que para poder realizar esto de salir del país mientras está en este proceso, debe tener una razón de peso, que puede ser una razón humanitaria, financiera o médica. En este caso, debe justificar cuál es el parentesco con esa persona y también cuál es la razón por la que lo va a visitar, si está enfermo, qué tan grave es esa enfermedad, y todo esto pues iría sumando a esta justificación.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Laura. Here's a great question about citizenship, naturalization. So when can you file for your citizenship? In this example, the Dr. Wade's wife received her citizenship in December 25th of 21, which is a great date to receive it. And if you are married, if your wife and you are still married in the next 3 years, then she can apply for her naturalization after 3 years from the day that she received her green card, as long as she's still married happily with you and still living with you for the last 3 years.
Ok, entonces esta nueva pregunta dice, ¿cuándo mi esposa puede aplicar para su nacionalidad norteamericana? Estamos casados desde el 12/24 del 2019 y ella recibió su green card el 25 de diciembre del 2021. Entonces, la abogada dice que desde que ella recibió su green card, que es en diciembre de 2025, si ella sigue casada con la misma persona, en este caso con la persona que hizo la pregunta, después de 3 años puede ya aplicar a su nacionalidad.
Right. And the 3 years is an exception to the general rule. So you can apply for naturalization after 3 years that you have your green card if you're married to and living with a US citizen for the last 3 years. But the general rule is that you can apply for naturalization after 5 years. Okay, so if you're no longer married to a US citizen, you're not living with a US citizen, then you have to wait 5 years after you receive your green card.
Ok, esta de 3 años en el que puede aplicar para la nacionalidad es una excepción a la regla, porque es demostrar que sigue casada y sigue viviendo con esta persona después de que obtuvo su green card. En caso de que ya no esté con esa persona o de que no haya sido por matrimonio su green card, tienen que esperarse 5 años.
Perfect. Jumping up to the next question. Hi, Benedict. I hope you're well. The question is, I have an approved petition for my mom, but I entered in the US in 2007 with a C1D visa. Can I adjust my status in the United States and not go back to your country? So the rule is, in order to adjust your status, and adjust your status is just a fancy word for applying for your green card in the United States. In order to adjust your status, you have to be in status. Okay, so if you've overstayed, you cannot adjust your status unless you are being petitioned by an immediate relative, which is a US citizen spouse or a US citizen adult child. In your case, since you're being petitioned by your mom, it's not an immediate relative petition. You will not be able to adjust your status in the United States. You have to go back to your home country to do the process.
Ok, en esta pregunta que tenemos aquí dice, tengo una petición aprobada de mi mamá, pero entré en el 2007 a los Estados Unidos con una C1 de visa y con el I-94 puedo ajustar mi estatus estando aquí en los Estados Unidos sin regresarme a mi país. La regla general dice que para ajustar su estatus tiene que estar en un estatus. En caso de que se haya quedado más del tiempo autorizado con su visa, puede arreglar su estatus aquí siempre que tenga un pariente inmediato que lo esté pidiendo. En este caso puede ser un hijo o un esposo. Como en este caso es su mamá, no es considerado un pariente inmediato y no puede hacer la petición o el ajuste de su estatus dentro de los Estados Unidos.
Okay, wonderful. I just wanted to give a quick follow-up to Maria. And Maria, tell me if you want us to translate this as well. Really, I recommend doing a consultation in your case. I know you're giving me more information, but we have to evaluate the case in order to confirm if she needs to leave for 10 years. Okay, so just a quick follow-up for Maria. And please reach out to us and we can talk privately in a consultation so I can confirm that for you, okay? Okay, so jumping, thank you for everyone that's watching and thanks for the questions. Let me see. Okay, this is a question we received in advance. It was, can I petition my wife for the green card if I'm a student and I'm not working? Okay, this is actually a common question. A lot of our clients are young and they're still in college, but they are married and they want to, help their spouse to get their green card and get their papers here. To answer the question, yes, you can still petition your spouse for a green card even if you're not working. However, since there is a requirement to meet a specific income minimum, so you have to show that you have a minimum of income that you can financially sponsor your spouse, you will most likely need to have a joint sponsor that would go into the petition with you. And this joint sponsor can show that they meet the requirements of the income.
Ok, la pregunta que tenemos a continuación es, ¿Puedo pedir a mi esposa para una green card si soy estudiante y no estoy trabajando? La respuesta es sí. Es muy común, tenemos muchos clientes que son jóvenes, que todavía están en el college y quieren hacer la petición de sus esposos. Entonces, sí se puede, pero igualmente tiene que cumplir con un requisito mínimo de ingresos que se pide para esta petición. Y en caso de no cumplir ese requisito, usted, por lo que no está trabajando, debe tener un patrocinador que en conjunto con usted cumpla esos requisitos para poder patrocinar financieramente a su esposo.
Wonderful. And I'm just going to put up our contact information. So if you want specific advice about your case, just feel free to reach out to us and we can evaluate your case. Okay. Immigration sent me a request for evidence asking for more documents for my case. Should I be worried? It is really, it's a little scary when you get a letter from immigration. And we get this a lot from our clients that do not expect maybe to get an approval in the mail, and instead they receive a letter requesting more evidence. And you shouldn't be worried. A request for evidence by immigration basically means that immigration cannot reach a decision on your case yet because they need more information. Okay. Do you want to translate that part and then I'll continue?
Ya. La pregunta que tenemos a continuación es, Inmigración me envió un RFE, que es que te piden más información de evidencia y pidiendo más documentos de mi caso. ¿Debo preocuparme? Entonces, la abogada dice que normalmente cuando uno recibe cualquier tipo de carta que no es un approval o una aprobación desde inmigración, da miedo, pero un RFE no es algo a lo que uno deba temer, simplemente es migración diciéndote que todavía no pueden tomar una decisión porque no tienen suficiente información sobre tu caso. Entonces, por eso piden más documentos.
If you do get a request for evidence, it's really important to read through it, make sure that you understand what immigration wants from you, and to make sure that you have all the information and that you give them all the information at one time. So if you send them pieces of information, they most likely will not accept it. They will only accept one time, and this might be your last time to get your case approved. So if you do get a request for evidence and it's complex and they're asking a lot of information, I do recommend consulting with a lawyer, immigration lawyer, so that you can make sure that you are responding in the best way.
Ok, cuando llega un RFE, es muy importante asegurarse de que tiene toda esta información, de que sabe qué es lo que le está pidiendo inmigración y que logra reunir toda esta información correctamente y también que manda todo al mismo tiempo. Si manda un documento, luego otro, inmigración no lo va a aceptar y debe tener mucho cuidado porque puede que esta sea la última vez que usted tenga para probar ante migración que su caso es legítimo, que lo pueden aprobar. Entonces, lo recomendable siempre es ir con un abogado cuando obtenga un RFE y su abogado va a revisar detalladamente qué es lo que quiere migración y que efectivamente usted tenga los documentos necesarios para enviarlos.
Perfect. I'm checking out the questions. I see some in Spanish. Laura, do you want to pick one up there?
Okay. It's not an actual question, but she's saying thank you for all the information and the time.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Perfect. Okay.
Oh, I got one in Spanish.
Okay.
Ok, so, ¿qué tan probable es que la petición de hermano a hermano sea aceptada en el momento en que nos toque? Gracias por su pregunta, Rosana Santos. Is how probably is that the petition from a sibling it's gonna be accepted in the moment that they filed.
Okay, so if you have a U.S. citizen sibling, brother and sister, they can petition you for the green card. The issue with petitions by siblings is that they're taking a very, very long time right now. Depending on where you're from, what the country you're from, it can take even 10, 15 years to get these cases ready. The cases are approved after a few years, but because the priority date is not current, meaning there's not a green card available for the category of siblings, the cases take a long time.
Ok, Rosana, usualmente un ciudadano norteamericano sí puede pedir a su hermano o a su hermana. Sin embargo, es un proceso que toma mucho tiempo, depende también del país desde el que se haga la petición y usualmente tarda entre 10 a 15 años porque no es una categoría prioritaria, no hay visas o green cards disponibles para la categoría de hermanos. Entonces, es por esto que suele tardar tanto tiempo.
Perfect. This question came in. Let's see. What is the process for me to petition my mom? She's from Mexico and has not been here for many years. So, assuming you're a U.S. citizen and you're over 21 and you want to help your mom by petitioning her, you can absolutely petition your mom. She's in Mexico. She's been there for many years. I would need to know how long she's been there and what is her immigration history here. Because the second part of the green card process after the petition is where immigration looks at the applicant for the green card and checks their eligibility for the green card. So we would need to review with your mom what is her history here, and does she have anything in her history that would make her ineligible for the green card?
Ok, en este caso, la pregunta es, ¿cuál es el proceso para pedir a mi madre? Ella es de México. Acá la tenemos en español. Es de México y no ha estado aquí por muchos años. Entonces, la abogada Yael dice, asumiendo que usted es un ciudadano norteamericano y que tiene más de 21 años, aquí lo que se tiene que evaluar es qué tanto tiempo ha pasado su mamá en México, cuál es su historia de inmigración, porque la segunda parte, cuando se hace una petición de una green card, es que migración mira detalladamente al aplicante. Entonces van a evaluar toda su historia con inmigración, sus records y en una consulta con un abogado de inmigración se pueden analizar estas cosas y darse cuenta si por algún motivo puede ser inelegible.
Perfect. Okay. Just looking at the comments. Oh, I just saw Rocio. Hi, Rocio. Thank you so much for joining. So good to see you here. Okay. I think we have a time for a couple more questions. This is a really good question. It's very common. I'm filing to petition my husband. What documents do I need to provide? So documents are so important in a petition for a spouse because the whole petition can fall on not submitting enough documents. So what documents do you need to provide? So first of all, the first kind of documents that you need to provide is documents proving that you are a U.S. citizen or that you are a green card holder and that you're eligible to petition. And then the second type of documents that you need to provide is documents that will prove the validity of the marriage to show immigration that you are in a true and a real relationship and that it's not just for the green card that you guys are married.
Ok. Esta pregunta es, estoy llenando una petición para mi esposo, ¿qué documentos necesito? Entonces, los documentos son una parte muy importante para este tipo de casos porque es en lo que muchas veces se basan los oficiales. Entonces, el primer documento o los primeros documentos es la prueba de que la persona que está haciendo la petición es un ciudadano norteamericano o un green card holder, a una persona que tiene una tarjeta verde. Esto lo hace elegible para poder pedir a su esposo. Y el segundo es una validez del matrimonio, demostrar que el matrimonio es legítimo, que la relación es real y que no solamente se está utilizando este argumento para obtener los papeles.
Right. And some of the documents that you can show to provide that you have a real and true marriage are documents like birth certificate of children, joint bank statements, a lease on both of your names, pictures of each other together, affidavits from friends and family. And really, the list can go on and on. There's not a specific list of documents that you need to provide. It's anything you think of that could show your joint relationship.
Ok, después, continuando con esta forma de probar que el matrimonio es válido, que es legítimo, se puede demostrar certificados de nacimiento de los hijos, se pueden mostrar los extractos de cuentas bancarias que tengan en común también con los dos nombres de las dos personas, préstamos, fotos juntos, affidavits, que significa declaraciones de amigos, de familiares, donde ellos expresen el conocimiento que tienen de esta relación y de las personas, y documentos adicionales que ustedes crean que puede justificar que este matrimonio es real.
Okay, I think we're going to take one more question. I have one more here. This question is, I want to file for my green card, but I have an old criminal record. Will it affect my process? So the answer is that it really depends on what your criminal record is. It's true that having a criminal record could definitely affect your case, but not every record or any conviction would make you ineligible for a green card. So if you have anything on your record, any arrest, any conviction, anything on your record, make sure that you're talking to an immigration lawyer before you file your case, because if you file your case with something on your record, that could actually put you in risk. So definitely, it's really important to reach out to an attorney before you file.
Ok, la siguiente pregunta que tenemos es, quiero iniciar un proceso para mi green card, pero tengo un récord criminal viejo. ¿Esto me afecta? Generalmente hablando, es muy probable que un récord criminal pueda afectar. Sin embargo, hay que ver qué tipo de récord o de crimen es el que tiene en su récord. Y siempre es importante que cuando consulte con un abogado o cuando esté llenando una petición o un proceso de green card, siempre exprese que esto está pasando, que tiene un récord criminal. Si no menciona esto sí lo puede retrasar en su proceso, incluso ponerlo en riesgo a usted y al proceso como tal.
Perfect. Okay, I think we got all the questions. If we missed your question, please feel free to reach out to us. And I wanted to thank everyone that joined today. And thank you, Laura, so much for translating. And I wish everyone a wonderful rest of your day.
Ok, muchas gracias por todas sus preguntas. Si alguna no la contestamos en este momento, vamos a tenerla en cuenta para responderla después. Y esperamos que tengan un muy, muy buen día. Gracias por acompañarnos en esta live.
Bye, guys.